first 15 at 8:15. Thank you so much for joining us. Just see a very important lesson. Today you will hear a true story of an agent who lost a listing. And from the lesson of her having lost that listing, I'm suggesting that you may very well save a lot of listings that you had. That you may lose. Sorry about that. So let's get started. No introduction today. We're going to get right into it on most days for those of you that are guests today, because Mondays we open our live calls or our first 15 webinars up to anyone. It's open to any agent. So if you know anybody who you'd like to introduce to First 15, introduce them to come on Mondays, or just send us a note. We'll send them the link. So an agent lost a listing in her farm, and it was a tough one because she lost the listing to a very tough competitor. The agent who got the listing has been successfully farming some other areas around this agent's farm, and she was aware of him, he was aware of her, and now he's moving into her farm. So the agent who lost the listing sent an email and asked the owner to tell her why they chose the other agent. So the agent who's farming the area lost to this competing agent, and the agent who lost the listing, who's farming the area, called the owner of the property and said, for my benefit, for my continuous improvement, could you please share with me why you chose the other agent? And it was actually not a call, it was an email. And the owner was very gracious and was, you'll see, very appreciative of this agent's work. And here is some of what the owner told the agent. The owner wrote, and I'm taking this right off of the owner's email that the agent sent me. So the agent farming the area got this feedback from the owner, who gave their listing to somebody else. The owner said, I appreciate your desire for continuous improvement and your feedback request, so I'm really happy to give you feedback. For us, she said, the decision came down to selecting an agent who's been a top performer, especially during the really tough selling and lending approval years of 2009 to 2013. Now here's the irony of this. The farming agent who lost the listing, okay, is the #1 agent in the farm area, has been the top agent in her office during that entire time, and she is just as strong at selling and lender approval years and working through tough lenders and lender requirements. But obviously she didn't emphasize this in her listing presentation. So she didn't get the listing, but she was all of those things, and yet the owner chose the other agent because the owner didn't perceive her that way. So the owner continued. The owner said, in regard to your marketing, your business development approach, I think you have a definite competitive advantage. The owner said to the agent who she didn't give the listing to, I think you have a definite competitive advantage as a resident in the area with the knowledge of the area's zoning and the knowledge of construction plans and all the relationships with lenders, etc., to help overcome any potential problems due to any pending litigation that's happening in the neighborhood, because there's some things happening. Okay, this is crazy. This is the owner just extraordinarily complimenting the agent. The owner went on. The high-quality mailers and monthly newsletters certainly help your brand front and center. Your new website reflects quality and professionalism, knowledge. Your new website is easy to navigate, and it's what I expect from experienced top agents, in contrast to many agents' websites that are company websites, boilerplates without further customization, providing no market differentiation, and reflects poorly on the agent's understanding of today's internet-savvy sellers and buyers. So here's the owner really extraordinarily complimenting the agent on their work, the quality of their website, their experience. This is really crazy, and didn't give this agent the listing. She went on to finish saying, the owner writing to the agent, the only suggestion I can think of is to consider increasing your visibility in the community and in the neighborhood, and in neighborhood activities to further enhance your presence in the area. I really do think you're doing the right things to capture and build business. So how, in heaven's name, did this agent lose the listing when the owner felt that way about her? So if we look at the owner's words as to why she chose the other agent, may give us a clue. Maybe this agent needs to be more involved in community activities. Maybe this agent needs to be more visible somehow in the community. Okay? But there's something wrong here. Yes, we discovered that the agent was not promoting her success, particularly in the farm area. She wasn't doing that in her listing presentation. Or at least she wasn't promoting it in a way that was sticking in the seller's mind. She might have been saying it, but she wasn't emphasizing it in a way that the seller was getting it. Okay? And maybe the other agent, who she lost to, was present at community events and in neighborhood organizations. But there's something wrong here. There's something else. Her feelings, the owner's feelings about this agent are so strong and so clear. There's something else going on here, and I will share with you what it is. See, there's another factor, and it's a weakness. There's another factor here that the seller would not have stated, the seller could not have stated, because the seller probably wasn't even aware of it. Okay? She wouldn't state it because I don't think she'd even notice it. She wouldn't know to notice it. I also know what the factor is because it's a weakness of this agent that she and I, the agent and I, have tried to work on together. The agent knows it's a weakness. She's talked about working on it. But as long as this agent was seldom in competition with other agents, understand that, as long as she wasn't under pressure of other agents competing with her, as long as she was seldom in competition with other agents, she was winning the listings. And this weakness did not seem to be costing her business. Now, I would suggest to you it was and is costing her business, but it took this event to point it up. So what is this weakness that's costing this agent business? So from what she told me, the competing agent, the one who got the listing, is strong at this weakness. I'm going to tell you what it is in a moment. Because the competing agent is strong at this thing, he made a stronger impression. So that weakness is the competing agent is doing a better job selling. The weakness is sales and communication skills. Because obviously the agent who lost the listing is doing so much else right. The competing agent is doing a better job selling in a way that's making a very strong impression. Now, stronger does not mean aggressive or pushy. As a matter of fact, aggressive and pushy are amateurish, they're immature, and they're unprofessional. They are not sales approaches. Okay, well they are, they're just bad ones. Having stronger selling skills does not mean that you're more aggressive or pushy. Stronger sales skills do not mean aggressive and pushy. I know that in people's minds it does because that's the ugly salesperson that many of us can imagine. Amateur salespeople are aggressive and pushy, or rather immature salespeople who haven't really matured in their work are aggressive and pushy. I don't like those sales tactics. I don't teach those sales tactics, and they're amateurish, unprofessional, and show a level of immaturity. Okay, Evie, you can tell me what slide that is sometime. I'll look for it. Strong professional, strong salespeople are trusted, not distrusted. Strong salespeople are trusted from the moment you meet them, never distrusted. Strong professional sales skills are just the opposite of aggressive and pushy. In fact, with strong professional sales skills, with great sales skills, people perceive you as less aggressive and less pushy. Instead, people feel you are charismatic. They're closer to you. They trust you more. They perceive you as more professional. So, what are these sales skills that make you more professional, that allow you to be perceived as more professional, that cause people to feel closer to you? What are these sales skills that will get you more business and will cause you to win more often and lose a lot less? What are these sales skills? Well, the first one, we've talked about many times. And those of you who are guests today, because we have Mondays, we open the first 15s up to everyone. Throughout the year, we cover these sales skills. In many of these first 15s, we have these sales skills on our webinars that are recorded that you have access to as a coaching client. We have live calls where we practice these and we focus on these. So this set of sales skills is familiar to some of you, but today I wanted to really emphasize to you the power of these sales skills and how this agent I described earlier really lost that listing not because she was not as strong an agent, not because she had less other skills, not because she didn't know the area. Man, she had everything going for her. She was effective in every way, except she lacked this ability to communicate and sell in a way that moved people to trust her enough. Asking questions, leading with questions, reinforcing and confirming questions. This is where you may want to start to take notes. Ask questions, lead with questions, reinforce and confirm with questions. So instead of saying to someone in a listing presentation, I sell more in this neighborhood than anyone else. That may be true. That sounds strong. I sell more in this neighborhood than anyone else. Instead of saying that, which is amateurish, you ask, do you think, you Mr. Seller, you Mr. Mrs. Seller, do you think it's important to hire an agent who sells more in this neighborhood? And they say, well, yeah, that's why we called you. And then you say, well, just for fun, why do you think it's important to hire an agent who really knows the area? And then they tell you all the reasons why you're the best choice. They're selling themselves on you. And that all comes from asking questions. I'm going to tell you in a moment, you can memorize this as a script, but there's too many of these situations to memorize all of them. Instead, you want to learn it as a skill, the skill of asking questions. So instead of saying, more people look for houses on the internet, and I personally respond more quickly to those leads, which helps sell your house, instead of saying that, which is good, but it's amateurish, you say, are you aware that more buyers look for houses online than any other place? By far, over 90%. Are you aware of that? And they answer. And then you probably want, so you follow to say, then you probably want an agent who has a very strong online presence. Does that make sense? And in today's market, the fact is you need more than an agent who has a great online presence. You need an agent who responds quickly, because we've found that buyers are reaching out to more than one agent at first, and the one who responds quickly most often works with that client and then can bring them to your house. May I tell you how I respond to online leads when calls come in when I have your house for sale? So you close with this question, which makes them listen and say, what? You say, no, you know that more buyers are looking online than anywhere else. And they confirm. And you say, can I explain to you why I am so strong in that area? Now, you do not have to memorize these as scripts. That's a weak way to learn. It's a good way to learn. You learn scripts. You do that at first, but if that's the only way you learn, it's weak. You can learn these as scripts. We teach lots of them in our resource materials. There's lots of scripts. But more important than the scripts are the concepts, the sales skills that have gotten the listing for the agent who might have gotten the listing for the agent who lost it, and likely did get the listing for the competing agent. So the first two sales skills are the most important, and I think you'll agree that most agents are not strong at them. The first one is this one of asking questions, leading with questions, reinforcing with questions. And another similar one is to talk less and ask more. Again, make notes of this. This is a bit counterintuitive. That's why amateur salespeople get it wrong. It seems to make sense that if you want to make a stronger impression, you speak more, like I'm doing to you. Tell more. Tell about your experience. Tell more about what you know. That makes intuitive sense. And that's why the answer as to why talking less and asking more works is counterintuitive. You want to speak less and lead with questions. Ask questions more. So ask questions. The final sales skill for today that you'll learn that will earn you more listings and sell your buyers with fewer showings. In fact, these sales skills, these simple sales skills, once you really make them a part of you and don't slip back to talking too much, will make your negotiations easier, get you more referrals, And here's the last one for today. Pay sincere attention. Once you ask the question, whoop, I lost you. Can you guys hear me? Just checking. Somebody said there's no sound. Okay, cool. You want to pay sincere attention. Listen actively. That means eye contact when the person's speaking. Body language that shows leaning forward, body language that shows your attention and interest. It means making comments and sounds that shows you're listening, like, I understand. Okay, and it means letting the other person finish speaking and even allowing a few seconds of silence before you continue. The opposite, which most people do, is to be so eager to speak that you jump in as soon as the person's done, which shows you weren't really listening. An inferior agent with better sales skills, a person with poorer real estate knowledge but better sales skills, will often win over a better agent with poorer sales skills. Now, you don't have to memorize these as scripts. That's a weak way to learn. Okay? You can learn these instead of as scripts as skills, and only the best agents are strong at these skills. And that's why they're the best agents, because along the way they learn to get very strong at these skills, and these skills are skills that we're constantly reinforcing when we talk about listings, selling, every aspect of your business. So today's ingredient for your recipe of success is to listen to yourself speak to clients today. Okay, listen to yourself speak to your clients today. Notice if you're asking questions or if you're speaking. So we'll talk about this in our live coaching call today. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have you look at what you're currently saying to clients, and really examine that to make some real changes in your business. Now, I have an announcement, and that is, well, first of all, we have a different approach to coaching and teaching than anybody else, a wider range of skills. We're about to launch our new website in the next month or two. And so we are raising the price. On the screen is not the price we're charging. We're charging $39 a month and $3.99 for the year. On July 21st, we will be raising the price to $49 a month and $4.99 for the year. But for 2 weeks, from today to July 1st, we're going to be holding our old price at $39 and $3.99. So if you've ever been thinking about coaching with us, if you'd like to discuss it and talk about the other benefits of our coaching, call us, email us. The number's on the bottom of the screen. rich@rerealestategradschool.com, because we will be raising our price on July 21st. So let's finish. I like to finish each day reminding you to hug the ones you love. They're the most important things in your life. Sell a house, make a great day, make a great start to July, and a great finish since this is the second half of 2014. Be well. Bye.